Kia ora whānau. Happy Sunday morning to you guys. Yeah, this morning I'm going to try a new recipe out that I've never made before, and it's from the Reciepcommunity, and it is called the Avocado Parmesan Brioche. So I've got some people coming around for dinner tonight. So I thought this might make a really yummy alternative to your standard bread that I'd normally serve, like something like a focaccia. So I printed out the recipe. And it's going to be a manual cook. I haven't added this into my created recipes, so I'm just gonna do a manual cook, and I'll take you guys through the journey with me. Alrighty, so the first thing I need to do is grate some Parmesan cheese. Now, I hope you guys aren't buying pre-grated Parmesan cheese because you are paying a premium for it. So here it is, I've just got my regular Parmesan cheese and I've cut it into pieces about 1 inch big. So everything I'm going to do today, I'm just going to go through my manual screen or my manual cooking mode of my Thermomix. So on my main screen of my TM7, I'm just going to click the manual mode button. So on here you can see we've got our scales as well as our machine control. So I've already pre-weighed 100 grams of Parmesan cheese. So I'm just going to drop this straight in the bowl, put the lid on. Now because we're grating a really hard cheese, it's going to get quite loud, but I'm going to run speed number 9 for about 4 to 5 seconds and we'll see what our consistency is like for our cheese. So here we go. I'll do 5 seconds, speed 9, and away we go. Now, I have chosen to do it this way because I want my Parmesan cheese quite fine so we get an even amount of it distributed throughout the bread. Oh, look at that. So this is our texture we've got for our Parmesan. Now, when it comes time to getting dry ingredients out of your Thermomix bowl, I highly recommend a pastry brush. A pastry brush is a lot better at getting dry ingredients out than your spatula. So I'm just going to use my pastry brush and just get all this beautiful Parmesan out. Now, if you want to add a bit more intense flavour to your Parmesan, you can always add a little bit of lemon zest. Lemon zest and Parmesan go extremely well together, and it adds a little bit more of a punch. You can also do things like throw in a little bit of herbs in there as well, like rosemary, for example. So a couple of leaves of rosemary, a little strip of lemon zest. When you grate your Parmesan, just as phenomenal. Cool. Nice and easy. Okay, let's start with the recipe. So I'm going to pop into my scales and I'm going to put in 330 grams of full cream milk. I love full cream milk. Yeah, I've always been brought up with butter, all the good stuff in life, so whenever I can I get full cream. I know it's not the best for me, but it just adds such a beautiful flavour. So here we go, 330 grams of milk. Now if you haven't made a brioche bread before, it's your traditional bread, but it's a little bit sweeter. He says try to multitask. So if you haven't given brioche bread a go yet, I highly recommend it. The Thermomix makes it so easy. Almost there. Now because I've not made this recipe before, I'm pretty much following it exactly. Hey you guys, thanks for joining me. Hey Kelly! So into this I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of yeast. And again, when you're putting your yeast in, you want to make sure that it goes in the liquid, not on the blade. And we're going to heat this to 37 degrees. Now, as I say, I haven't made this before, but what you can do is if you're making bread and it's during the colder season, I would put in a teaspoon of sugar as well. Just gives that yeast that extra oomph to go in. So I'm going to go into 1 minute, 37 degrees. It doesn't give me, oh yep, speed 1. That's nice and easy, isn't it? And off we go. So my plan for the bread is I'm going to turn these into mini brioche loaves. So what I've got here is the brownie tin. So the brownie tin you can easily pick up from the mix shop. This is excellent. It is really, really good for making individual portion sizes of things. And I quite like it too because it's square. So it's a little bit unusual from doing your standard muffins and things like that, which are traditionally round. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing how this goes. The recipe says it does 12 portions, which means I should get, hopefully, 12 really nice buns out of it. Hey Lynette, thanks for joining me. I'm doing a recipe from the recipe community today, and it is the parmesan and avocado brioche bread. It's on Recipe Community. If you like, I can put the link to it up in the chat afterwards. Oh, I'm just going to repeat this because my milk isn't up to temperature yet. So when you are dealing with a user-created recipe or one that's on Recipe Community, because it's not tested by Vorwerk, you just have to go through and be a little bit flexible. Normally they work okay. But yeah, there's lots and lots of recipes on Recipe Community. Highly recommend you go to it. If you haven't used it before, just go to recipe.community.com.au. I have got some really tasty recipes on there. I have got my my ginger crunch. I have got a really, really good spinach and ricotta lasagna recipe. Yeah, so go for a hunt. It's really good. The recipe I'm using is actually designed for the TM31, so it's quite a few years old, but it doesn't matter because you can easily use them in the newer machines regardless. But it does get 5-star reviews. So when you do cook a recipe from Recipe Community, you do have the option to rate it and put comments on it. So yeah, everyone who's made it said it's brilliant. So I'm happy to try it. Okay. So we've now got our milk at 37 degrees and our 3 teaspoons of dried yeast. So next step is we're going to put in the rest of the ingredients except the cheese. So into here we're going to add 1 medium avocado. I'm not sure what a medium avocado is, so I'm going with this size one. And this is the first time I've actually put avocado in bread. So it doesn't say anything about little pieces or anything, so I'll just pop that in there. We are going straight into dough kneading mode after this, so I'm assuming that what it's going to do is just chop up the little pieces of avocado anyway, so hopefully it'll be evenly distributed through. And if you don't know already, if you want to ripen your avocados, a little trick I learned a while ago was to put them in a paper bag with an apple and a banana and leave them for 24 hours. And it works really, really well. So yeah, give it a go. Hey guys, thanks for joining me. So I'm doing the avocado parmesan brioche, and as I'm going to do it in my brownie tin, I'm going to do them as mini loaves. So when people come for dinner tonight, they're going to get their own individual loaf. Something a bit different. Okay, so into this now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. I reckon that's about 1 teaspoon of salt. And 630 grams of high-grade flour. So I'm going to pop into my scales. And here we go, 630. And if you don't know already, whenever it says baker's flour, we are talking about a high-grade flour. I have not made this recipe before, so it is a little bit of a wait and see. But I will put up my finished loaves on my page. So if you guys want to see what they look like. Ooh, overshot the mark there a little bit. So that's 630 grams of baker's flour, and it says we'll have 180 gram egg. When I looked it up, an 80 gram egg is a size 8 egg. I've only got size 7, but you know, we'll see what happens. And that goes. And typically when you're doing a brioche loaf, you do use a dairy product and you do throw in an egg or two. It just gives it that rich texture. So in here we've got 330 grams of full cream milk, 3 teaspoons dried yeast, 1 medium avocado, 1 teaspoon salt, 630 grams of high grade flour, and an 80 gram egg. So we're going to drop the lid on, exit our scales, and it said we're going to knead it for 2 minutes. So the way you get to your kneading mode on a TM7 is we go back to the home screen and we press the little blade picture. So the blade picture is the second to the bottom on the left hand side. We are going to find dough and we're going to set it for 2 minutes and away we go. So if you guys do have... Hey Katie, what am I serving it with? So I would normally, when people come around for dinner, I like to put fresh bread on the table. So whether it's a focaccia loaf or the Portuguese loaf is one of my favourites at the moment. But what I'll do with the Portuguese loaf is I will put in some lemon zest, and I will also put in a little bit of rosemary just to give it a little bit of a more Mediterranean type of flavour. So yeah, I just thought, I saw this recipe and I thought, oh, that sounds good. It's got parmesan, it's got avocado, it got 5-star reviews, let's give it a go. So we're just going to have a roast dinner tonight. I'll do my veggies in the Thermomix, I'll make my gravy in the Thermomix. So yeah, this is going to go with that. So quite looking forward to it. So if you guys do have any favourite recipes from the recipe community, please share them with me. There's a huge pile and array of recipes there, and you can use it just like you use Cookadoo. So you can pop in and you can search for ingredients, you can search for recipe names, you can search by category. So it's well worth doing. If you haven't visited Recipe Community, go for it. I know a lot of consultants put recipes up there as well, and those hard to find family recipes sometimes, they'll be listed there, so it makes a great resource. Yeah, Kelly, Recipe Community, go for it. And don't forget too, if you are after a recipe that you cannot find on Recipe Community and you cannot find on Cookadoo, I know the chances are slim, just Google it. Put in your recipe name, space Thermomix. And if someone somewhere has made a recipe for it, it should come up in your search. It just means you have to do a manual cook, but that's all good. Alrighty, let's have a look and see what our dough's looking like. Ooh. I was expecting it to actually be a bit more green, but it's actually, yeah, it's quite a, I'm not going to say tough, but it's quite a dry mixture. So once we've got that done, the next step of the recipe is we're going to put in our 100 grams of grated parmesan. So in that's going to go. Put the lid on, and then we're going to knead it for another 2 minutes. Now, as I said before when I started, I hope you guys aren't buying pre-grated cheese. So grate your cheese in your Thermomix, and as I said, if you're doing parmesan, throw some lemon zest in it as well. If you want to freeze it, all you have to do is put your grated cheese with a little sprinkle of corn flour into a snap lock bag and put it in the freezer. So the corn flour stops the cheese from clinging together, so it still stays nice and single. And whenever you need cheese, just grab a handful out of whatever you want. Yeah, it's so much cheaper than actually buying the pre-grated stuff, which is full of things you probably don't want to be eating anyway, to stop it from sticking together. So following the recipe, once this has been, hey you guys, thanks for joining me. Yeah, Linda, I love parmesan. I just love cheese. And parmesan and avocado sounds a really good combination to me. So it says here, once the second dough knead is complete, wrap it in a mat and leave it till it doubles in size. Once it has doubled in size, so it's proved, we're then going to knock it down, and then we're going to put it into a tin. So this is my tin, and then we're going to let it prove again for a second time, again until it's doubled in size. Then we're going to brush the top with a beaten egg white, and it's going to bake at 200 degrees. It says approximately 30 minutes, but that will be for a complete loaf. So I think for my brownie sized ones, I'll probably start with maybe 15, and we'll see how we go. I cannot wait to see what the dough looks like. So I've got my handy dandy dough mat. And I'd love to know, guys, if you give this recipe a go, please let me know what you think of it. Oh man, that smell. You can actually smell the avocado in there, which is, yeah, I was not expecting that. So, put my handy dandy dough release lever on, and we'll leave that dropping out. It is quite a thick dough. So I'm just going to spin the excess off the blades. So back into manual mode. I'm going to do speed 8 for a couple of seconds, just to flip the dough off the blade. How crazy easy is that? So yeah, in terms of garnish, what I'm expecting to do is I'm just going to put some sunflower seeds on the top, because that is what they recommend in the recipe. So yeah, and see how things go. But if you come back to my page, guys, I will put up a picture of my finished brioche mini loaves. And if you do decide to make it, can you please let me know what you think, and share a picture with me. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let this prove now till it doubles in size. This smells really good. I'm actually thinking it would be quite easy to put something like a little bit of herbs or something in there as well. But maybe next time we'll see how we go. Have a great weekend, guys. If you need me for anything, please just yell, and I'll put up a picture of my finished loaf at the end when it's all made. I'll catch up with you guys later, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. See you later. Bye-bye.